Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. Let me see if my microphone is working now, because a lot of times I think you guys can hear me and you can't. I think you can hear me though. Hold on. All right, here. All right, now I think I got my mic situation straightened out. I had the wrong microphone in and everything else. All right, so this is going to be a really quick stream. I'm going to go ahead and address some comments that I made over at the Honest Truth channel. And honestly, ever since the Space Ghost perp situation, I kind of held back from going over there because I didn't like exactly how the whole thing, was represented or how it went down. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and close this back up, get back to you guys. Thanks, Commendable K. He says the mic works. All right, so I was over at the Honest Truth channel, and he was reporting on the whole Kevin Samuels, Nicki Minaj situation, just the same as everybody else in all of YouTube has been doing ever since the interview dropped. And so he had a very unique and different perspective. I was cool with most of everything that he was talking about, except that one thing that has always kind of bothered me about him, because I know he used to be Manosphere and he claimed not to be, and he kind of got put on by Cynthia G, and that's actually how I came to know him, through her. And so with that being said, there is a particular entertainer. I don't really follow the entertainment world. I just don't. My boyfriend will tell you, Faith doesn't really listen to rap music or any of the stuff that you people listen to. But, hey, it is what it is. So there's this guy named Space Ghost Perp. Never heard of him. But evidently he has some type of notoriety. At any rate, he shows up to the Honest Truth's panel the day that I'm on there. And, beforehand, Honest Truth was really going ham, going in on this guy. I mean, apparently this guy had threatened to grape and, murder Black women. This was a threat. And so, when Honest Truth was covering the story, he played back what he was saying and everything, and he was just really bastardizing the man, and, just really just like kind of, shunning him as well he should have. He was shunning the hell out of Space Ghost Perp. And so, I was in agreement with him when he was doing it, but something miraculous happened. Space Ghost showed up. And when he showed up, Honest Truth lit up like a Christmas tree and brought him onto the panel. So now all that stuff that he was talking about, Space Ghost Perp, what he would do and all this other stuff, the energy shifted, and I began to see this man do a total 360 right in front of me, and he began to fanboy out. And so he began to act as if he wanted to be homeboys with this very individual that had threatened to grape and murder a Black woman. Commendable says he did a 180. Yes. And I'm sorry, but I have to address it because my comments were deleted from the chat room today on the video that he did about Nicki Minaj, and I was ousted out, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that, but I will address some of the things that he said to me that I did not get a chance to say because I wasn't able to defend myself. But I made my comments. Yes, I did make the comment first in the chat room because, like I said, I was pretty cool with everything that I was hearing, even though I wasn't really agreeing with everything that I heard him say. But it was just a mere fact that when he got to the part where he was condemning Black women for being happy about what Nicki Minaj said as her message to Black women, and her message was that Black women need to start, caring about themselves first. Well, I don't see a reason for you to start, disparaging Black women because, they were happy that Nicki kind of, gave Kevin Samuels that gut punch in that moment. So in The Honest Truth's video today, while he was covering the interview, he began to just, try to depict Nicki Minaj as this person that has no business to have her opinion about women because she is a woman that supports predatory men. And this much I will tell you I agree with. Now, I didn't know much about what happened with Nicki Minaj and her brother. Didn't know her brother was this rapist. Didn't know that she was married to her husband. Oh, I'm sorry that I said grape. Her husband was a rapist. I don't want to be put in YouTube jail. And that her husband was accused of doing the same. Was not aware of that. Hold on. AC says it was an interview at that point, and Commendable K says, I saw the stream. He blocked you and went off, but no panel link. It would have been different energy if you were able to talk face to face like SGP. Yeah, Space Ghost Perp was invited up to the panel, but I'm not Space Ghost Perp, so I am not going to be invited up to the panel. But back to what I was stating about, him being actually right about Nicki Minaj. I don't support any woman if I know that she is supporting men who are, participating in degenerative behavior. So that's one thing. But not everybody follows celebrity gossip. Every Black woman that was looking at the interview between Nicki Minaj and Kevin Samuels probably didn't know about this information. Everybody doesn't know all about what goes on in the celebrity world. I know I didn't. It was my first time hearing about it when The Honest Truth, brought it to my attention. And so I made the comment because he was really going ham on people. He was like, yeah, Nicki Minaj. He actually said that Kevin Samuels has more grounds to defend Black women than Nicki Minaj. And now here's the reason why I gave him pushback in his chat room. Because he was going hella hard on Nicki Minaj because her brother and her husband did some bad deeds. He's going real hard on her for being a supporter of this. As well as he should. Anybody should. But I couldn't help but think back to what I was telling you about earlier about his Space Ghost Perp situation. I will never forget that. Because now the same way that he was going hard on Nicki Minaj, talking about how she needs to just be, Black women need not to listen to her and she'll lead you down the wrong path. He might be right about all that if Nicki Minaj has done these things. However, when you yourself, The Honest Truth, was put in a situation where you were going in on this guy, and this is before you knew he was down in your chat room, you were really going hard on him like you're going hard on Nicki Minaj today. But when the man got in front of you in your face, the energy completely changed. And now I understand that, you can't protect a Black woman physically online, but there are, however, other ways that you can protect a Black woman online. And it is definitely not by fanboying out It is not by befriending. It is not by telling her enemy that you want to do business with him. It is not by doing any of those things. Because see, when you do stuff like that, well, that sends the message to Black women that you are in alliance with her enemy. And I think that's the point that Taz was making. That's the point that CK made. And that's the point that Cynthia was making. Because she addressed the situation as well. And I don't even agree with everything that Cynthia says. But they're all right about this situation. So you yourself said in your very own live stream that you do not judge a person by what they say, but their actions speak louder. So I called you out on your actions that day. Now you claim that if anything were to go down and with a Black woman and you were somewhere in the vicinity, you claim all the time that you are the protector of Black women, that you will step in. You'll be the first one, you said tonight, to step in. But when someone who threatened to grape and murder a Black woman was in your face, you chose to be a friend to him in front of everybody. And that is the reason why you got my criticism tonight when you were being hard on women who supported Nicki Minaj in a totally different situation. The situation that everybody else was reporting on was the situation with Nicki Minaj in an interview with Kevin Samuels, not Nicki Minaj supporting her degenerate relatives. But I want to go a little bit deeper into that so that everybody can kind of understand, because I made these comments in his chat room. I made these comments direct to him in his chat room. Yes, AC, it was an interview. Also, I want to say shout out to Commendable K, Melanated Vessel, and Koja Malik. Once again, thank you so much for becoming a member today. I really appreciate that. But let me go ahead and go back to my talking points. I want to go a little bit deeper into this so that you can understand the mind frame that I was in when I made that comment. Now, once again, I don't look to beef with anybody. That's not what I do. But I will challenge your perspective and your stance, especially your talking points. And his talking points at the time did not match his actions in the past that he was condemning people for right now. You're condemning people for supporting someone who you deem to be unworthy. But you did that very thing right before our very eyes, and you want us to just overlook that because you claim to have been taking up for Black women in the past. Well, it's really easy to take up for somebody when the people that you're talking about aren't there. The same way that you were going hard on Nicki Minaj tonight, if she had showed up like Space Ghost Perp did to your live stream, would you have dropped that link? You sure the hell would have. You would have dropped that link and let her right up there. And everything that you were saying about her being dirty for supporting her husband and her brother would have went straight out the window, because you, like Kevin Samuels, would have saw an opportunity to do business, like you saw an opportunity to do business with a Space Ghost Perp. This is why nobody respects you. And while I may have a few subscribers on my channel and a few people on my channel, one thing nobody can ever say is that I'm a hypocrite. Now, there was some inconsistencies of what I said in your chat room, because you were going on and on about protecting. And I erroneously said I didn't say anything about protecting. That is the one thing that I will correct myself for. I was wrong. I did say protecting. but that is only semantics. It does not change anything else I said to you at all, period. So, what exactly was said? Well, my comment to you was that you did not keep that same energy when Space Ghost Perp showed up. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. You didn't keep that same energy. Now, as far as Black women supporting Nikki, knowing that she supports degenerates, I will say this. And I'm not trying to take up for Nikki. I don't know exactly what that situation is about and why she has the mindset that she has. But I will say that it seems to me like Nicki Minaj has been surrounded by predators all her life. I will say that. And this may be the reason why Nicki Minaj has a mental disorder. It's very clear. So maybe, just maybe, the reason why she feels the need to protect such individuals is because such individuals she was raised with them. It's something that she normalized, and she has a form of Stockholm syndrome, probably. And it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But I will submit to you today that for the same reason that these predatory men probably hurt her throughout her life, more predatory men keep approaching Nikki, such as her husband. And this is the reason why she keeps choosing them, because this is probably all that she knows. And I stated this in your chat room where my comments were deleted, because I was booted out. But I stated this. I said, now Nikki, she probably is a target for predators at this point. Predators know their victims. And that is the reason why Kevin Samuels' predatory ass took his ass over there. Because he was clout chasing and planning to get by on her tits if he could. And it didn't work this time. So for that, I applaud Nikki. For that, I do applaud her. Because see, any stance that a person can take against someone who has predatory, predatory movements, and I do believe that a lot of these men are like that. If they can get one victory and get it right at least one time, they're one step further to regaining, regaining their strength. So I will always applaud when they, operate from strength. In that moment, Nikki was operating from strength, and that should be celebrated. Why not celebrate that? So would you rather that she operated from weakness and said something stupid? Melanated Vessel says she did a good job luring him into the trap he had planned for her. Exactly. I would prefer that if somebody is surrounded by predators and they one day the light bulb goes off, who knows when it goes off. Like I said, my mother was in a very, very abusive marriage for years, and the light bulb didn't go off to leave until she got old. But it doesn't make me celebrate any less that it finally did go off. So I don't know if the light bulb finally went off for Nikki, but in this instance, I applaud her. And I don't feel bad for applauding her either. As a matter of fact, where's my applause sound effect? I'm going to go ahead and give her the actual applause sound effects because, God damn it, I think she deserves it. Damn right. Damned right. Why not? Applaud any woman that wakes up and operates from strength and not weakness. So now, things that she did in the past, I don't know if she learned her lesson or not. But I do know that that guy that she's married to is a scum bucket. Her brother is a scum bucket. She's surrounded by a lot of scum buckets. So if she is finally learning to realize and recognize a scum bucket when she sees him slithering her way, aka Kevin Samuels, I say good for her. And maybe she will find the strength to leave the scum bucket that she's with. If he did what you guys are saying that he did. He's a scum bucket. So those were my comments over at The Honest Truth. This is my response to his tangent. And he did go on a tangent. So it looks like somebody is still a little, how can I say, sensitive. Might have a little bit of PTSD from people, going off on him, that backlash from the Space Ghost Perp situation. I really believe that's what the case was because he seemed a little shook from my one little comment there. That he had to go ahead. He stopped talking about his program and everything to address little old me with my little old channel and my little old followers. Interesting. Triggered much? What's up, L. Nixon? AC says, do y'all know what they did to THT behind the scenes? No, I don't know. Like I said, I man my own business. I don't know nothing about no behind the scenes stuff. I don't know nothing about no behind the scenes stuff. I man my own business. Melanated Vessel says it takes some women more time than others. As Black women in unique position we're in, we must allow space for grace. We must within reason, of course. Exactly. Like if a woman is in the process of doing bad, I'm not going to promote her. I'm not going to uplift her when she's doing bad, when she's making bad choices. But Nicki Minaj made a good choice with how she handled Kevin Samuels. And so I'm always going to uplift someone when they're doing good, not when they're doing bad. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share the link in case anybody wants to come up here. If THT, if you're watching, you can come up here. For anybody that wants to come up and discuss. But like I said, I don't do the whole beefing thing. I have discussions. I will challenge talking points and I will call something out that I don't agree with. That's just how I roll. And yeah, I might make a few enemies because I'm blunt. I tell the truth as I know it, and a lot of people ain't gonna like that. Oh, fucking well. Deal with it. No, Water Sniper, how do you tag somebody in the title? I'm just learning about all this YouTube stuff. I'm learning how to do all this little fancy swazy stuff like this. So I don't know about tagging. How do you? Well, whatever. If he sees it, oh well, or somebody go get him. Let's see what you guys are talking about down here. I'm not going to be up here that long. Like I said, I give people a little bit of time, and anybody can come up here tonight. This is an impromptu stream. This is not a show. For shows, it's a little bit different. For streams like this, anybody can comment, anybody can come up on the panel. Oh, I didn't see Verbal down there. What's up? I am the Verbal Assassin. Oh, you talking to Water Sniper about a burrito. All right, it looks like my friend Koja Malik has come onto the stream. What's up, sis?
How you doing? We've been following each other today.
Girl, yeah, you were in that live stream. You saw what happened. Did you think that what I said was out of bounds? Or, what do you think about that whole situation?
I think he's sensitive about it. And, I didn't agree with this Space Ghost Perp thing, but I still like some of his other stuff. That's why I be in there watching. So, I definitely support Nick. I definitely like what Nikki did. And it's like this here. If you are a trucker, I work with you on trucking stuff. If somebody over here is what they call people logistics who do warehouse organization, I work with them on that. So I can definitely not agree with somebody on one thing. And sometimes I think it's on PTSD because it's definitely certain things that trigger me. Man, you get to talk about child support, I'm gonna be on it, in the court system. So. But
I have seen you in action. You do be on it when that child support issue come up.
Man, that's not trigger. But other than that, I work with people and agree with them on the messages that I agree with them on, and the ones I don't. I like Nikki what she did today, but I think you really tapped on a subject about her and the mindset of why she is a draw for predatory guys. And that husband of hers, because some people saying, oh, Rihanna doing what Nikki did. I don't know ASAP Rocky, but I'm not that he was a person who actually didn't like Kenneth Petty murder somebody, and he was a sexual predator, and that girl seemed really impacted. So this is not something somebody's like, oh, she faking it or whatever. She still seemed to be very, very not move forward, unhealed. And I'm not sure you ever get healing from that, but she seems to it real fresh to her. So,
well, and I even after that whole debacle on Honest Truth's channel with Space Ghost Perp, I still didn't think that he's a bad YouTuber. I think he's a very talented YouTuber. And like I said, after some time had passed, I was like, okay, I'm over the whole Space Ghost Perp thing. And because I saw that he was doing a video on the same thing that CK and I had did earlier, and he was the only person that was online right at the moment doing it, I went in there to listen, like I normally do. And I was pretty cool up until, I heard him really disparaging the content creators and the women that were supporting Nikki and big upping her for how she handled that situation. I don't think that Nikki needs to be ridiculed for making a good choice. Now, when Black women don't choose better, they're dragged. Like Nikki marrying that guy, that was not a good choice.
Yeah.
Nikki, you supporting her brother, not a good choice. But Nikki standing up and telling Black women to stop worrying about these men and focus on themselves, that was a good choice.
Yeah.
Why would Black women not get behind that message? See, you can you can tell a person when they're right and you can tell a person when they're wrong. But I just hate when people just hate the messenger so much that they can't distinguish anymore what's right and what's wrong.
I don't even like TLA no more. But every now and then I may listen to a opposing point of view because I think that keeps our mind sharp to hear opposing points of view. Plus, you have to know the lay of the land. So, you know, I don't like his content, but every now and then I'll go to get him his opposing point of view, and I'll go into people's chat. I mean, things and for their opposing point of view. And I'm sure someday I can find something that I might go agree with him with. I don't know, but you know, we ain't gonna agree on everything. And I did not like the Space Ghost Perp thing, but I do like some of the other stuff he did. You know, some people go and talk about he was former manosphere. And it still ain't gonna stop me from listening to the other stuff that he do say, whether it's genuine or not. You know, because some people doubt whether
Yeah,
it's genuine or not. But if you have good information, my mama said, if a dog tell you something and it's right, you better listen. So
exactly. You know, but they say a broken clock is right at least one time a day.
and I'm really, I would say, concerned for Nikki's son because he has a dad that's a whole that, a brother that's a whole that, and I'm sure Nikki keeps in contact with her brother. I'm sure she put money on his books. I'm not sure about the going to see him because she is Nikki,
Well,
but
that's her
I
brother, so of
yeah,
course
yeah,
you can expect that. But I did
but
want
I
to
really
address a comment real quick from Melanated Vessel, because this is the nitty gritty of what we're talking about. But she says people don't like their integrity being called into question. THT showed his hand in front of the whole black sector. I'm shocked women are still supporting him. Here's the thing, I'm not shocked. Now, I did watch some of his old content, and like Kojal Malik said, he has some really good content. He's a talented content creator, not taking anything away from the man. But at the same time, I didn't like what I saw that he did with the whole Ghost Perp thing. I didn't like that at all. And so for somebody that can flip like that in front of everybody, yeah, you get the side eye from here on out.
and I Space Ghost Perp energy was aggressive. So I can
Yes.
even understand being, knocked off my square for a minute. Like, when TLE went in on me, it just came out of nowhere. I was kind of shocked for a moment because we were having a civil discord. I didn't really expect him, but in that moment, it knocked me off
Right.
my square for a second. So I can understand in a way how aggressive Space Ghost Perp was. But I'm saying, I like your this, and that. I don't know. Sometimes maybe it's that thing what supervisors do where they say one good thing before they go in on the bad thing. I just never saw the bad part that he went in on it and stuff. So, I'll give people a pass on stuff here or there. But if I see it consistently, then I really have to side out because we all have a bad day one day. Because it's certain people
Right.
I talk with
But
that,
it was the magnitude of the 360. Like some people will do a 360 and
yeah,
it'll be subtle. Like, it'll be
like
like one
Nikki
of those,
did
yeah,
Kevin.
like
She
well,
went
yeah,
down
one
the
of those,
checklist. Like she had made a checklist and hit
yes.
every point. So she didn't make no, so she like, I'm gonna debunk him and make him backpedal and put Zip on everything he said. I think she hit
She
everything.
set that up perfectly. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is, like, as far as what this video is about, my comments to Honest Truth in his chat, like
yeah,
the reason why, I stopped going back there because of the magnitude of the 360-degree turn that he did.
yeah.
Because you got to understand, I don't know if you were there the day that Space Ghost
I
Perp thing
was,
went
I
down.
was, I
But did
was.
you see how hard he was going in on Space Ghost Perp before he knew that Space Ghost Perp was there?
I didn't see that part of because I was at Costco. I was at the
Okay, well,
Costco when it
I was
happened. So I
I
saw,
was there when before Space Ghost Perp got on the stream.
okay.
And he was really man, he was like, this guy is the lowest of the low. If I was here, I would do this to this man and I would do that to this man. He was talking about what he would do to the man physically. You know, if he ever saw him, like, oh, if somebody said this to a black woman that I knew, I would do this, I would do that. AC said, no, he wasn't. Yes, he was. AC, he was. How you gonna sit here and cap? I was there. I heard him.
Yeah, I was at Costco that day, and it was in and out. I think I came in on the when Space Ghost Perk barked. I was in when he came in and addressed himself.
Yeah,
And I'm
because
gonna be
Space
honest.
Ghost, he was going in so hard on Space Ghost Perp. Space Ghost Perp was down there in the chat room getting mad.
Okay.
And cursing him out because he was going in so hard on him. So I can't see how AC sitting up here acting like this wasn't a thing. Why was Space Ghost Perp so fucking mad at THT if he wasn't going in on the brother?
Yeah. Some people I might tolerate and might not go in as hard, and then some people just gonna get it off the bat. And Space Ghost Perp to me was one of them people I would probably not be respectful of, who I would match his
AC,
energy.
hold
and
on.
I would say, who the fuck you think you talking to?
AC talking about watch the interview again. No, man, I was there already. I don't have to watch nothing again. What are you talking about? See, this is what I'm talking about, man. People with the blinders on. That is exactly what happened. Verbal, I don't know who he is. I mean, I didn't turn on the subscriber only mode because I thought that dude would show up or whatever. Okay, AC, if my memory is shot, hit the link and refresh my memory. Refresh my memory for me. Because I remembered him going in hard on Space Ghost Perp to the point that not only did Space Ghost Perp come up on the panel because he was going so hard, but Taz showed up and went off on him.
Yeah, Taz did a stream on it I don't know if the same day or the next day. And I commented on it. I commented on that on Taz's channel. But tell AC, come on up. Ain't nobody gonna verbally lash you. Yeah, I just had a convo.
Melanated Vessel says she heard it too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know I'm not crazy. I know I have no problem with my listening and comprehending skills. I know what I heard. I don't know. I think, yeah, exactly. Melanated Vessel said that's why everybody called him out. That's exactly why everybody called him out.
Yeah, I think, like you said, well, he got a little PTSD from that, a little sensitive about that, and we're human. We're human. But yeah, it was just a disagreement, and he felt hit, so he hollered.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened because, see, most of the time I'll see people commenting in my chat room saying little stuff to me or whatever. Some comments I highlight, some comments I'll be like, nah, I don't even want to deal with that today. You know what I'm saying? But he decided to deal with my comment, but he dealt with it, very, very like aggressively. Like he was extremely
I was hoping he
triggered.
dropped the link for you to come up. I really was.
Yeah, but didn't he sound extremely triggered?
Yeah, I actually, to be honest, after it started, I left out the room. I just didn't, some stuff I stay for, some stuff I don't. And I just left out the room a little bit after it started. When I heard that, I just left out. I don't know where I went, but I left out. But I know I went somewhere.
Bro Speak says, I've been said THT was a weak dude. I think that he has some PhD. He was very triggered from what happened with the whole Space Ghost Perp thing. And when I reminded him of what he did, he was really, really, really just triggered. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. This is my co-host. What's up, CK?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, great.
Hey, CK.
Hey, what's going on, Coach Malik? So I was there for when there was the Space Ghost Perf stream. I was there for the TAS stream, and I did my own stream. We've all, and when I say we, myself, Faith, and a couple of other people, we've all given the honest truth somewhat of grace. Like Woman's Fear says, we gave him grace during the situation because he doesn't really seem like a person who's about that life. As
No.
far as confronting people and just being someone who's let's say a fighter. So Faith, you know, you and I have already talked about this, in that I'm a soldier. As a soldier, I'm all about combat when necessary. And I believe that people, how they are in real life, they should be the same way online. And the honest truth, we kind of came to the consensus that he's just not like that, which is fine. He's not really for confrontation. He's not really for going back and forth with people on panels. Everybody's not built for that. So today, when he was addressing your statements, if he would have just came out and just said that, like, I'm a content creator only. I will make my critiques and say what I got to say, even if it's harsh about a subject. Cool. But if they show up, I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not going to go back and forth with someone. I'm not going to threaten them. I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to report them to the FBI. I'm just a talking head. We would have respected it and continued to give him grace. And the problem is that people are not honest about what they are as far as in life. Because I was there from the beginning. He was saying a lot of stuff about Space Ghost Perp. I've never heard of the guy. Most of the people in the chat never heard of the guy. We just know that he was making threats against Black women and Cynthia G. So it was all good. Then when Space Ghost Perp showed up, hey, you're a rap legend. I've heard all your music. I'm a fan. It's like, wow. I'm thinking he was going to set the guy up. And then come to find out, it was not a setup. This was an actual, somewhat of a giving someone roses event. Yet the guy was talking about graping Black women and Cynthia G and murdering them because of hearing manosphere and red pill content. Mm-hmm. That's the main takeaway. He was hearing the same thing that men in the manosphere hear and say, and he was acting off of that. And that's the reason why when he comes on, instead of being submissive to him, you got to shut him down. You got to put him in his place. You got to let it be known that we don't respect what you do. We don't respect what you did. You're not cool with us. You can't sit with us. Because here's the reason why you got to have that language. Let me know if I'm too long-winded.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the reason why you want to have language like that with someone who is antagonistic, terroristic, and somewhat evil is because people are listening. When it comes to a community in real life, the criminals come in and terrorize because they believe that there's no one that's going to oppose them. There's going to be people who are going to somewhat have a blind eye, justify or rationalize being cowards. In my content, I've talked about that we lack heroism in the Black community. People are all talk, but then when they're put to the test, they show their true colors. Same thing with Kevin Samuels and Nicki Minaj. And unfortunately, the same thing with The Honest Truth and Space Ghost Perp. People show their true colors, and it come to find out they're not really about that life when they're put to the test. And we understood. That's why we all gave him grace. But tonight, just the fact that he gave you smoke, wouldn't drop the link, and he said more to you in an antagonistic manner, a black woman, than he did to Space Ghost Perp, it just kind of, it's a disappointment.
Well, see,
So
here's the thing. I was cool with what he was saying. I didn't agree with everything, but I was cool not to speak on my true feelings until he was sitting up there talking about some black women that support Nikki. You don't care about protecting black women. That's he said something to that effect. I'm just, paraphrasing what I heard him say. And I'm thinking to myself, do you care about protecting black women? And that's what I put in his comment section, because it sure seemed to me like you didn't care when Space Ghost Perp showed up in your chat, and then you put him in the live stream, and then all the stuff, all that shit you were talking before he got up there went out the window, and you just start wagging your tail like a sick puppy and licking his boots. So I mean, how the hell you sitting up here admonishing black women for big up and Nicki Minaj for taking the stance that she took, which was a good stance. It was positive, because you feel as if Nicki Minaj promotes degenerative behavior. We are not big upping her for promoting the degenerative behavior. We're big upping her for making a good decision to recognize a potential predator and put him in his place. And so for that is what we were big upping. And the two are not the same, and he should never have made those two comparisons.
So AC, I guess that's the honest truth, or maybe one of his minions. He's saying that I was not about that life when I confronted Space Ghost Perp. I did a whole live stream showing exactly what I did and what I said. And AC also was saying that I personally am not about that life. Like my deployment, my combat.
AC, are you the honest truth? Because it seems to me as if you know a lot of the inner workings of this man's mind. And only the person who is the honest truth would know that.
Yeah, he's caping a little bit too hard. I mean, I've been to combat. I've been shot at. I've shot people. I've served my country. But this is not about a pissing contest, because AC is deflecting, just like, unfortunately, there's a deflection made by saying that people giving Nicki Minaj her props for what she did in the live stream, the Instagram live stream with Kevin Samuels, deflecting to her husband, her brother. All that is taking the spotlight off of what the focus should be for that live stream for people who responded to it, and the fact that this was about breaking apart and dismantling Kevin Samuels' talking points. So people who are trying to deflect to Nicki Minaj's personal stuff and her husband and the brother and, what she's done or not done, it's almost like they're indirectly trying to cape for Kevin Samuels. And that's what it sounds like. Because think about it.
Oh, bingo, you hit the nail on the head. And this is the other reason. And AC, I just want to address you real quick. If you're not THT, fine. But it still seems as if you are caping a little bit hard here. But you're exactly right, CK. It seems like THT was indirectly caping for Kevin Samuels and the Manosphere. But he claims not to be Manosphere, but this is what you're doing inadvertently. And it seems very, very suspicious to me. It kind of seems like you're trying to crawl back a little bit. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looked like.
And that's the point, because the Manosphere would do those type of tactics. You call them out for them complaining about child support, and they'll say, well, you should have aborted the baby. You call them out saying that, well, the woman that you wanted, maybe she didn't want you. And then they'll deflect and say, well, you should choose better because look at your marriage rates. So the deflection is distracting us from the fact that Kevin Samuels' talking points fell apart, and that the Black Manosphere and the White Manosphere, who all worship and lick the boot of Kevin Samuels, they're falling apart, they're scrambling, and they're trying to find any way to protect Kevin Samuels.
Exactly.
And that's
Protect
kind of,
Kevin
oh, go ahead.
Samuels at all costs. That's exactly
Right.
what this is.
AC probably is the Kevin Samuels Defense Force. Remember that guy who used to
Oh,
come out of the
oh yeah,
bushes?
the one that play all the music and stuff.
Right. Well, we haven't seen him in a while, but it seems like a lot of people who probably were that account or associated with that account, they're trying to protect Kevin Samuels, even if it means deflecting, even if it means blocking people, hiding comments. We all talk about accountability until it's time to have accountability. And that's really all what this is about. If we've all given grace and we've all understood, not everybody is about the going back and forth with people on the internet life. Not everybody is good when it comes to panels and speaking and being quick with your thoughts. Not everybody can be smart. However, when accountability is called out and people, instead of saying, you know what, I made a mistake, if I can go back in time, I would do this, and that different. They double down and triple down. That means that this person not only is justifying and rationalizing what they did, but they probably would do it again. And that is the reason why we have to call stuff out, no matter who it is, so we know what side someone's on and we know what they're really thinking. That's how people are getting doxxed. That's how people are getting hurt in real life, because they're aligning themselves with people who say one thing, but then when they get in front of a different audience, they flip-flop. They become a whole different person. The masks are coming off. The representative is going away. Faith, I talk about the representative all the time. The representative is going away, and we are seeing people for who they truly are.
You can't really be in control of them little Freudian slips. That's why they call them slips, because they accidentally slip out. Even when you're something authentically, you may not have a Freudian slip because wholeheartedly you believe in whatever you're doing. But when you don't, or you're working through it, or you're not as strong as what you think you are on the issue, you'll see them Freudian slips come out. And thanks for having me on the panel. I got to go to work. I've been on this 2-week COVID vacation, but tomorrow I got to hit it.
All right, Coach. Well, as always, I'm glad to have you up here, and please do come again, sis.
Oh, well, good night. Good night. Commendable K.
Hey, good night, Coach Malik. I got one more thing, and then I'm going to drop down because I'm currently traveling. I'll say this much. The same way like AC is trying to deflect what I did and did not do, other people are reflecting on or trying to deflect from, the statements that you made in the chat. The thing is it's good that the masks are coming off and that representatives are going away. I was on Grandmaster Troll's panel going back and forth with guys. That video's on my channel, and they were all manosphere, and they were all saying, yeah, Kevin Samuels is fake, but he's at least pushing our message and we're fine with that. And my response is, he stopped pushing the message when he got in front of a certain audience. So the larger that Kevin Samuels gets and the more he is around celebrities, he's going to drop the message and he's going to reverse course and do a 180. And that's the reason why we need the masks to come off and representatives to go away, so we know where everyone stands, so we can stop aligning ourselves with people who are somewhat parasitical in nature. They'll say whatever it takes to get the good numbers, to get your money, to move money from your pocket to theirs. And now that people have seen the truth more than once, if they still want to rock with someone, then we know exactly who you are and what you're about. So this was all good. This was great. It was a revealing session, and I'm glad that it happened because we all learned from this. And I don't think there's going to be any beef going forward about with anything. I know you're Faith, you're just doing a response video and you keep a clean channel, drama free, and no dysfunction. But we do need to have these tough conversations, tough streams, and tough videos so that we can align ourselves, or better align ourselves, with people who we can support their self-interest and they can support our self-interest, and together have a shared interest. Hold on, what
Bravo.
was it?
Well
Is it okay if
said.
I?
Well said.
Well, I thought I saw Water Sniper say, "See, Water Sniper 2, see commendable K saying what I'm saying." Okay, okay.
Yeah, he's
I thought, I
he's
thought, I
agreeing
thought.
with you. He's
Oh,
agreeing
okay,
with you. Put the
okay. I thought.
claws
Hey,
back.
I'm gonna say we already had AC, aka, some. I don't know. I'm not gonna put names to that account, but we already had that stuff. But I see you got Brother Speak up here. Brother Speak, thank you for being my channel member, and thank you for being Faith's channel member. I'm gonna drop down to the chat. Thank you, Faith, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, CK. Oh well, Bro Speak dropped down. And
Oh,
I wanna give this message to black women. To black women, know the difference. Okay, if you have a sister and you see that she's going the wrong direction, you do not encourage her in her wrongdoing. Not while she's in her wrongdoing do you encourage her. Um, Bro Speak is back again, but I don't know if your stuff is connected yet. Bro Speak, are you there? Okay, yeah, your devices are not connected, so I don't know what that's about. But I will say this: you don't encourage your sister in her wrongdoing. However, if your sister is beginning to show signs that she is experiencing an awakening, and she is starting to speak and have actions of doing right, of thinking better, of having a better mindset, then you absolutely celebrate that. And that is what black women are doing in the case of Nicki Minaj, checking Kevin Samuels and giving the message to black women to uplift themselves. We are celebrating that. We are not celebrating the Nicki Minaj that married a rapist, the Nicki Minaj whose brother is a rapist. Okay. And these are men who did bad things to black women. We do not celebrate that, but we do celebrate a woman who is operating in her strength. And what Nicki Minaj did today, well, what we saw Nicki Minaj do today with Kevin Samuels on this live stream, that was a Nicki Minaj operating from her strength. And we do celebrate women operating from strength. Bro Speak, I see you're back. Are you able
Yes,
to
sir.
okay, there you go. I can hear you. I can hear you. What's
Yeah,
up, brother?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, seeing Kevin Samuels get destroyed, always a good thing because I think it's the talking points that some of these dudes are having need to be dismantled in front of when powerful women actually take them on and destroy them. It just shows how weak some of these dudes are, and it's showing to the men who were some of the men who were kind of following them, but that this dude is not really about helping men get better women and do anything. All he's trying to do is get money. And I've been hearing all these excuses. Oh, it's just business. It's just business. Well, your business is just to get your message destroyed. I mean, what's the point of your message? It don't make sense to me. If you're going, if your point of your message is to get it out to help people, then you letting yourself get destroyed. And this is not the first time this has happened. It's happened. What? This is like the third time, maybe the fourth time that his message is just getting trashed, and he's just showing that he's not even trying to do anything about it. He's just sitting there taking it, which is embarrassing, man. But
It is, and the fact that a lot of these guys that are surrounded by Kevin Samuels, they see him as a means to make money as well. So a lot of these guys, they don't even respect or like him now. They didn't respect or like him then, but they're just fake, you know, kicking it with him now. If that
of
makes any
course,
sense.
of course.
Because
I
they
mean,
have built an economy around Kevin Samuels. So if Kevin Samuels, videos go viral, they can report that on their channels. It becomes celebrity news, celebrity gossip. Anything that this man does is a stream of money for them. So they've built an economy around this man. So they're not going to go against him.
No, and the same with the honest truth. His platform when Kevin Samuels got big, that's when he did his platform, and that's how he got big. Because his main opponent was Kevin Samuels and the Black Manosphere. Because if it was just going to be the Black Manosphere, yeah, he would have got big, but it wouldn't have got the way he was when he was just going at the Kevin Samuels and the Black Manosphere and the Manosphere and the main Manosphere. Yeah, that's when his numbers went up. But when you interacted with this dude, you could tell this dude is weak. I've interacted with him on 2 panels. One was at BMT's panel, and another one was on another channel, the Ebony Star Network. And both times he has proven that he's a weak dude. He's passive aggressive. That
Very, very passive
very
aggressive.
passive aggressive. He will insult you when you're trying to have if you don't agree with him. Oh, you all kinds of things. You're a coon. You a sellout. I remember there was one time we was on BMT and we was bringing up protection, white men and all that. I told him that, look, white men don't protect the women like you think they do. And he went off. I'm like, oh, that ain't true. And even the white man that came on the panel told him, dude, that's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. Are you white? So
You know what, speak. It's funny that you say that because you're absolutely right. White men are very, very abusive towards their women, and I was thinking about doing content on the scorns of older white wives who have taken to living in their vans. They've taken the van life because these same white men that they were stay-at-home mothers for, they were beating them and pretty much abusing them in every way possible. That some of these women said that they would rather live in their vans than go back to that life. There's
right.
Lots of them.
They rather be homeless than be with their white man. And he's trying to say, oh, they protect the women. I'm like, dude, they make laws for the actions of white men. And I
thank you.
And I kept trying to explain to him. The white guy's trying to explain to him. He's like, oh no. So what it showed me is that he loved white men. He don't like black people. He's using black women to make money. That's what all it is. And he's passive aggressive. I was not surprised when Space Ghost confronted him and he folded like a chair. He did that with Taz. That's why he wouldn't let Taz up there, because Taz, you got to handle Taz a certain way. You got to confront him, match him. You can't be passive aggressive with Taz. It's not going to work. So I knew he was going to do that.
Well, he was very aggressive with me from his platform while I was down in the chat room.
Because you're a woman. When a real man confronts him, he's passive aggressive. When on that Ebony Star Network, he was doing the same thing. He was trying to pit women against each other. He was sneak dissing the men on the panel until the guy had to come up there and say, hey, dude, what are you doing? You're trying to start a fight between these women. You need to stop that. And he got in the huff and left. And so I'm like, this dude, when real men confront him, he cannot handle that. He's no better than some of these dudes in the manosphere. That's why I've said that before. The guys who pander way too hard for women, you have to watch them the most.
You definitely gotta watch them.
It's something you got to, because if you do something that they don't like, it's over. They gonna flip the script. They're gonna turn on you. All kinds of stuff. That's why I said it, but he was saying the stuff against the manosphere, against Kevin Samuels. Then he got into the divested people, and you know how they And if you say, "Oh, you got to get with a white man, he's better than a black man," oh, they in love with
Mm-hmm.
it. And
Mm-hmm. A
I'm
lot
like,
of people are trying to jump on that divested bandwagon.
Of course, because it's money. Especially when Kevin Samuels came out, that's when that divestment thing went way up. It wasn't really like that until Kevin Samuels came into the picture. And that's when that divestment thing went sky high. Everybody was getting on it. You saw Cynthia G getting on it. Nyla. You had
Yeah,
other
and
like that.
Taz. I mean, he
And
has
then Taz,
hashtag in invest. I'm like, hey, wait a
yeah,
minute, Taz, how you divesting? What the hell, But hey, it is what it is. It's a money maker.
yeah, I know. It's like, wait a second. You telling them to divest from black men, but you're a black man married to a black woman. What?
Wait,
I'm like,
you know
come
what?
on, dog.
That whole situation baffles me because Nyla is married to Taz. Taz is married to Nyla, but they're talking about divestment stuff. I mean, I don't know if they're still calling themselves, if they even call themselves divestors, but they're using the divestor type language. So in
It-
Taz says hashtag divest. I'm like, wow,
it's a,
you can't make this stuff up. You can't, but
it's a
it's
money
it's
grab.
hilarious.
That's why I don't. There's a lot of people I don't take seriously on this YouTube streets. I don't take them seriously because when you really confront them, their message folds. They get exposed. They show that really they don't really believe what they're talking about. They just in it for the money and the fame. So that's
if
why
you
I'm
if
like,
you listen long enough, you'll hear the inconsistencies.
mm-hmm,
People that believe their message are very consistent and steadfast. They're not going to say one thing and then turn around and say another thing, and until you're confused about what their stance is altogether. If I have to be sitting here confused about what your stance is on your message altogether, that means that you have kept flip-flopping, 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 flip-flopping over and over again to the point where I don't know where you stand. And if
mm-hmm,
I can't tell where you stand, I'm gonna think that you don't believe you're just a chameleon. Is
right,
saying whatever to get views, monies, likes, clicks, clout, whatever.
that's it. And when your message when people really confront you, powerful people who will not easily sway, and you fold like a chair, you don't really believe your message. That's just what it is. So that's what Kevin Samuels been proving that he don't really believe his message. It's just a money grab. The honest truth is being proved. He don't believe his message like that. It's a money
Nah.
grab. I mean, it's just and there's a lot of people who want to say, how are we gonna get rid of Kevin Samuels? And I told somebody on the panel, there's a lot of people who are invested of Kevin Samuels succeeding because if he doesn't, he goes away, a lot of these channels go away because that's what they're built on. Even his enemies, they are built on him successes so they can have content, and that's why
Exactly.
it's very
And they
hard.
built they've built an economy around this one man.
Hmm. And people say, well, let's sign a petition. I told somebody on the panel last night, yeah, they did the petition. You know how many people signed that petition? How much a percentage of his actual subscriber count on YouTube? It's less than 3% since I last looked at it. And that was back in, I want to say, middle of January. If you take Instagram, is about 3%. His
Oh, wait
Twitter.
a minute. Listen to this. I don't know this because I don't really go over and listen to Taz that much. I listen to Nyla or Cynthia G, and I don't even go over there that much. But Melanated Vessel says Taz is upset at the manosphere all of a sudden flip flopping. They called him a simp for allowing women on his channel. Now they have Kendra D, Jessica X, etc. Wow. Oh
Well,
wow.
Kendra always been over there, so that's nothing new. I think it's more or less like I said, they get mad at him having supporting women, but then yes, like they say, they supporting Jessica S. You got some other women that coming in saying that
Mm-hmm.
message, and
What's her
you look at
name? Good Mother. Yeah, they got a white
yeah,
woman now, Good Mother.
yeah, that thing. I'm like, y'all really bringing in this white woman in now? What we doing here? I'm like, I'm just. That's why I'm.
It's kind of cringy, it's weird. I have no idea, but it's embarrassing in its totality as far as how we're looking in this black sector. The black sector is looking like one big fat joke right now. I don't think we're ever going to be taken seriously because of the things that we do in plain sight in front of everybody. And the reason why the white people are coming over is because they're making the money grab. They don't care about any of the things or any of the issues that we have within our community or in this sector. They're just
No,
coming to do what they always do, to steal. And we're
they
going to
come in.
allow it to happen again.
Yeah, it's either they coming in for a money grab or they want to get their inner racism out. That's just what it is. So
Or to laugh at us because it's entertainment for them
that
at the end of the day.
and it's like, okay, you got the white men on the divested side coming in and saying, well, you black dudes ain't this and that, and I'm looking at this white dude, I'm saying, why the F do you even care whether a black man thinks that he high value or not? Why are you over here? And then you have the white woman over here. I'm like, why do you even care what black women are treating black men and feminism and all this thing? It's like it's these different. It's like it don't make sense to me as a white person. If you think that you are better than black people, why are you here? Why are you getting around with people that you think you're better than? When really what it means is you're not really better than these people. Because if if I really didn't give a fuck about black people, I'm not going nowhere near them. I don't give a shit. They be high value. They want to be baby makers. I don't give a shit. But if you're coming over here, clearly you ain't happy with your life, and you're
Exactly.
trying to get money, or you trying to get your racism out, because you've been wanting to say this to black men and black women, but now you have a voice because we got goofy black people over here, both sides of this dumbass
Well,
gender
well,
war.
Trailer Hood, proved that a white person, especially a white man, can come into this space and say racist things in plain sight, and he will be met with very little pushback. I mean, he got some, but he didn't get the pushback that he should have gotten. And so now that he's tested the waters, more will come. They're going to
Yeah,
keep coming.
they coming, and
And it's bad enough we got to deal with their aggressions, their macro aggressions and their microaggressions in real life, especially the microaggressions. But I'd be damned if I voluntarily tune into YouTube and have to see that online. We should
right.
know better, but it is what it is.
We let our anger, our hatred, our greed get in the way of our image, and 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 like I said, it just makes this black sector look like a joke. Like you said, we look like a joke out here, and who's going to take us seriously? That's why you got people who they get in this sector for a bit and they get the hell out of here. They want nothing to do with it because the, a lot of people are not serious about helping black people. They're not really serious about changing the environment. They just want to get some money and get their hatred off, and they just let all these other people, white people, some of these foreign blacks who come over here because they have an axe to grind with black American people, and we just let them run free, and then when you have some pushback, hey, this ain't cool. Then they want to look at you like you must be a hater. I ain't no fucking hater. I hate that. I hate people denigrating black men and black women in my face, and you think I'm gonna let that stand? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be a part of it. Now
No
that's for
black,
sure.
no black person in their right mind would.
No, but as we know, a lot of people in this sector ain't in their right mind. You
But
know, so
we roll out the carpet for them. Like even at Bum Cherry's channel. I like Bum Cherry. I like her channel, and I might get on her bad side. But I didn't like the fact that before that white woman came, over to her channel. The white lady, I believe, she probably thought that she was going to do a one-on-one with Bum Cherry, but instead she was on the panel with Bum Cherry and about seven, 6 or 7 other women, which is no problem. I mean, I think the ladies did okay, job of not, really going in on her while they were interviewing her. But it would have been better for, in my opinion, if Bum Cherry did the one-on-one. But that's
right,
neither here nor there. What I'm looking at is the fact that she had the conversation with the ladies, kind of like they were huddled up in the women's locker room. And she was like, okay, this is a white woman, we don't want her to get upset and, leave and run. So, we got to be nice to her. We can't treat her like we do each other. And I'm like listening to this and I'm thinking to myself, this don't sound good.
uh-uh.
This sounds really, really bad. And I'm going to tell
Yeah,
you why it sounded bad. Because now we're saying that we got to treat the white people better than we treat each other
yeah.
because we want them around.
It makes you look like you're scared of them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I remember I told the white dude, I told the honest truth on a panel with the white dude right there. I don't really care about white people like that. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be respectful, but when it's time, well, I must say my opinion of what they doing, and I don't care if they get offended. I don't care what it is. I'm not going. I'm not. If I don't even do that at work, why am I gonna do that online? Why am I gonna do that on YouTube? But people do
Right.
that. They wanna they they walk on eggshells around them. I'm like, no, dude, no, I can't do it, man.
But it's like Cherry said, when she was explaining to the ladies, you got to treat this white lady like, you treat when you're around your bosses, at work and your white bosses come around, And she said this and I was just like, I cringed a little bit on the inside, but I kind of understood what she was saying, because if we treat this woman like we treat each other, because we go at each other a lot of times, not me, but I do know that in the beef sector they really go at each other. So if they did that to that lady, she would have taken off and ran. But I still, I was just like, wow, just to hear it, just to hear
Right.
that this is how we gotta be around them still to this day. I just was like,
Yeah.
wow. The more things change, the more things stay the same, and people don't actually understand that they're not really seeing that. Yes, Water Cypher, I saw what you saw. I didn't comment on it. I heard it and I was just like, wow. But I don't tell other people, how to run their channel. But I did think to myself that wow, that did sound really, really bad. It sounded
Yeah.
bad.
Like you can't be yourself. You have to be put on this
Mm-mm.
front. And I'm like, why are you doing that? I mean, if you can't be yourself on, you can't even be yourself online in front of white folks, then what's the point? What's the point even having them here? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the point. But like you said, you can't tell people how to run their channels, and you just watch and just be like, oh well, it is what it is, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Commendable K commented. Let me see what he said. He says Trailer Hood came after Dirk Nowitzki guy was on Mr. Fantastic and Game Changers panel talking about black men having a low IQ. I heard of that. I wasn't there, but I heard something like that went down.
Yeah, I heard, and there was and black men having babies everywhere. Okay, y'all talking about pumping and dumping. Okay, it was all right. But then the inner racism came out, and he was just going in how blacks is this, black ain't this, black men ain't this, and all this. And that black dude just sitting there quiet. He didn't try to confront him. I'm not saying you got to go ham and yell and scream, but at least defend yourself, defend your race. But he didn't even do that. He was just sitting there quiet and yes, sir, and all that. I'm like, oh man, you looking weak in front of
Yeah,
the whole.
because they're afraid, that if they beat themselves, and this is what Melanated Vessel said. What's up, Auntie? Melanated Vessel says you should be yourself in front of everyone. She says, I'm not fronting for no one, white or black. And that's the way we should be. When white people come around, especially if they're not our boss, we're not at work, you know what I'm saying? Or even if they are your boss or you are at work. I mean, we are people. We know how to interact and be decent human beings to the point where we can interact in any situation. So I just think that if your regular self is this type of person that's just an asshole, well, nobody's going to receive you. you know
Yeah.
and that's just period, point blank. If you're black and you're an asshole to me, I'm not going to like you. If you're white and you're an asshole to me, I'm not going to like you. That's just the way it is.
Right. That should be.
What's up, Sheila E?
Hey, Sheila E. Yeah, but that's the thing, and and it's being proven time and time again that when we have this message, whether it's against black women, black men, white people, but when the people that you really need to get that message out against and have that pushback against those people, we fold like chairs. We just folding, and or we get too emotional and we just go off the square, you know. And yeah, it's embarrassing and it's sad. Like you said, we can't really be ourselves. We can't be able to be calm and rational, but be yourself. You can't do it. It's just like it's sad, man.
Well, the problem is we feel powerless when we're around white people. Let's just be honest, because they do seem to have all of the power. When you go and you look for a job, most of the people that are in position to interview you and give you a job are not your color. I've had very few interviews with other black people. It's either been white, Latino, Asian, or white.
Right.
It's hardly ever been me, sitting in front of a black person trying to get a job. I can count on one hand how many times that has happened.
Yeah, me too.
And the same thing with the police. When the police come, to respond to a service call, most of the time the police don't look like you. They're
Right.
white. They're other. Very few times do you get like a black police officer. So basically, the reason why we feel that we have to act a certain way, like Bomb Cherry was saying, code switch it up, be nice to the white folks. because we view them as having this power.
Yeah.
And we want that proximity to whiteness.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we allow them in this space, and we allow them to go at us the way that they do, and we will not nut up at them the same way that we nut up at each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have more smoke for each other than them. And I'm like, wait a second, how you have more smoke for us? I get it. We know there's not gonna be consequences like that. And because we're used to each other. But when the white folk come in,